about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. From touring rapper to MS warrior, still grinding, is still creating, no other than Mr. Robert Cardillo III. No, this second, sorry. Mr. Robert, welcome to Book 101 Review. And can you please introduce more about yourself?
Absolutely. How's everything going? I'm or Robert Cardillo, better known as B-Side. That's that's my rap name. That's what I go by. That's my pen name. And I actually just came out with a memoir about multiple sclerosis and my journey through the underground hip hop music scene for about 20 years.
Congratulations for that memoir, Mr. Robert. And thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. And Mr. B-Side, I will call you Mr. B-Side, right?
Okay, it sounds good.
Awesome, awesome. Let's talk about underground grit. How does the underground hip hop ethos differ from the mainstream success, and why was is it essential to your journey?
Well, it's definitely different because it doesn't conform to what mainstream like pop radio has to do. It definitely is not a conformist type of music. We talk about things that we want to, and there's no censor. People talk about whatever it is that they want. And like I said, there's no censors. People aren't really repeating words over the way that you hear songs today. People don't repeat choruses over and over again. They actually have songs that have meaning to them and stories to them. And it's just a whole different scene than something in the mainstream. Have you ever heard of the Insane Clown Posse before?
No, not yet, mister. Can you
No. Okay.
enlighten us?
Yes, they are a group in what I call the Wicked Underground. That is what I'm part of. And they started this whole subculture, and they have music that is definitely not of a mainstream type of thing. They talk about all different things. They talk about love. They talk about things from love to killing somebody, and it's like a movie on a song. It's like a book on a song, and it's something what they've created. They created this whole underground thing that we have people in my lane have attached to, and they they just continue to forge forward.
Interesting, Mr. Robert. Interesting indeed. What specific life lessons did hip hop culture instill in you that corporate or academic spaces could not?
Definitely not to trust everybody the way that people tell you to trust people. I always look at people a little differently because of all the doors that have been slammed in my face and just all the people that have come and brought me down. So I don't really have a very big level of trust when it comes to that. So I think it's given me some grit towards the way people act, and I don't let people get things over on me.
Mm. Yes, for sure, Mr. Robert. How did the scarcity and DIY spirit of the underground forge your resilience in business and life?
Well, it is pretty much a whole do it yourself thing. And I love coming up with concepts for things and actually seeing them come to life, and they are something that I cherish, these projects, and I get to create them and see them come to life. And it's just something that is amazing to me, and it just makes you can create whatever you would like and then put it together and it ends up in real life.
When did staying true to your roots cost your opportunities, and why was that exchange worth it?
Well, I would say because I stayed true to my roots, there is this group that's in the Wicked Underground called Project Born. That when I was performing at a show, they were performing at this show, and they ended up taking me under their wing. And I ended up going on tours with them, went to all different states and stuff like that. And had I not stayed true to what I was doing, I would not have gotten the opportunities that I would have got.
And we congratulate you for that, Mr. Robert. And very well said. What hustle did you learn on to eat when rap checks did not clear?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What hustles did you learn on to eat when rap checks did not clear?
Oh, gotcha, like the hustle and stuff. What
Yes.
what you're
The-
doing when the money isn't there or whatever, like
yes.
what do you hustle?
Yes.
Like
Legal
that's
or metaphorical?
okay, legal or metaphorical. So yeah, I mean, you're gonna try and do whatever you can to survive. I mean, if so, I mean, unfortunately, some people sell drugs, and that's what you have to do to get by. Unfortunately, not fortunately, that was not my path. Me, I would do things in a way like I would try and get things and find them and sell them and put them on eBay. I would try and hustle things on a secondary market, try and buy action figures or sports cards or something along those lines and flip it on the secondary market to try and get my hustle back, to try and get my money back.
Mr. Robert, share a bar verse from your journey that encapsulates hard truth you had to swallow.
I would say when I got MS, that is probably the hardest truth that I had to swallow. Is when I got MS and the doctor told me that everything was going to be fine. All I had to do was take this shot that he gave me, and everything would be fine. And unfortunately, that is not what happened. It actually got worse until I went to go see other doctors in a better city, and it progressed. And I'm in a wheelchair now, and that was probably like the lowest point of my life. That's really what I would say. And I I wrote this book, Mile in My Shoes, to try and pull me up out of everything, to write about my experience and everything, to write about everything that I've done, from the music to the multiple sclerosis to selling action figures with my brother and sports cards and stuff like that. And that's why I've really written the book. So I mean, I would say that would be my lowest point.
What moment made you realize hip hop was more than music? It was a survival blueprint or
Hmm.
blueprint.
Hmm. Let's see. I had to be young. I had to be like 21 years old. and you you have just like crappy jobs, you know, something that's not gonna something that's not gonna amount to anything, and you just have this dream and you want to fulfill it, and you just keep grinding towards it, and you know if you work this crappy job that you're going to get money to grind towards this dream that you have, and that is that is what that's what hip hop's kind of taught me, is that you have to grind for everything. Nobody's going to give you anything. You have to work for everything that you do.
Yes, indeed. Work and work and work. For sure. What's the most painful betrayal or lesson you learned about trust in the business?
Hmm. People people are snakes in the music business. Does that make sense to you? The people are not very
Mm.
good people in the music business. Uh, there's not a lot of trustworthy people in the music business. You always have to have your eye open and make sure that people aren't trying to hustle you. And I've gotten hustled before. You know, there's nothing that you can do, unfortunately. These people are just there. They're snakes, and it's just hard to trust a lot of people, if you know what I mean.
Trust no one, as they said. And Mr. B-Side, how did you avoid self destructiveness like ego or vice while grinding in a high pressure environment?
I always try to keep my ego in check. I always try to keep people around me that might be like, oh, that's not good. You need to try doing that over again. You know, that I don't like to keep a yes man around me. I like to keep people around me that will actually tell me what they think of something, give me their honest opinion on something, you know. And that's what I want. And I think that's what keeps my ego in check. And I never think I'm above anybody. If you know, I me and you are equal. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I've done. It doesn't matter what you've done. We're all equal. We're all human beings. There's a lot of stuff that we can share. That I'm not any better than you. So that's how I look at keeping all the ego and all the stupid stuff in check.
Very well said, Mr. B-Side. Very well said. How did you redefine success when the industry's version felt empty?
Well, that's one of the reasons why I have uh, come out with this book and everything. It's kind of redefined what success is for me. I have went from being just an artist, just a rap artist, to now a writer of this book. And I've been able to get a lot of stuff off my chest. And I've been able to tell my story. And my story, I feel like my story will resonate with a lot of people that have a disability or multiple sclerosis, or even somebody that might be coming up in the music industry. Somebody that doesn't know the way and knows that, you can get scammed and stuff. I talk about that kind of stuff in my book. And I feel that me being a artist, I also made a soundtrack that goes with this book. And that's something that I'm redefining right there, is that I made a soundtrack that comes with this book, and it dropped. It's on all streaming platforms. It's about I talked about these songs in the book. I didn't make it just for the book, intentionally for the book. I talked about these songs throughout the book, and I put these songs on a CD that I've previously made. So that's out on streaming platforms. And then right now, to pre order, I am the first author to ever put out a soundtrack on vinyl. I'm putting a soundtrack out on vinyl. Only 25 copies are available.
Congratulations for that, Mr. B-Side. Congratulations. And as an author, rapper, and entrepreneur, what are your short-term and long-term goals?
Short term, I'm trying to do as much promotion for this book as possible. I am actually treating this book like a album release, and I guess a lot of authors don't do that traditionally. I am actually, I have a whole podcast press tour lined up. I'm doing a whole bunch of podcasts talking about the book. I have a press release coming out about the book on the 23rd. So that's going to go to all major media outlets and stuff. And I'm trying to build a buzz around this book. That's the short term. The long term is I'm working with my father on a company called the Cardinal Center LLC. And it is going to be a company where politics equals profits, where my father, who has worked for the government his entire life, is going to show businesses how they can keep more money from learning about politics and legislation and things of that nature. And I'm going to be using this software called ClickFunnels, and I'm going to be making a whole educational course of my father doing this, and that is the long term.
Good luck to your goals, Mr. B-Side, and looking forward for more success. What will be your piece of advice for those people out there want to be an author, rapper, and entrepreneur like you?
It isn't about getting signed or going viral. It's about showing that you still can build something even when the system forgets you. So I think that you should never give up. The I have a song. It's called My Life's Effed Up Part 2, okay? And I have a line in this song. It says, "The only way to separate the good from the great is to see who's around after the toll time takes." So that means that you need to always grind. Don't stop. Otherwise, you will be not stand the test of time.
Yes, that'd be awesome. Thank you for your advice, Mr. B-Side. And I hope people are listening right now, watching right now, will empower to your advice. What's an underground code like loyalty or self reliance that mainstream culture desperately needs?
Underground code that mainstream culture needs.
Yes.
I think just that I think mainstream culture needs more of that I don't give a crap attitude. Everything is too polished. People aren't talking about real things. People are people have like a script of things of what they talk about, and there's no substance to songs that they make. They all pretty much make the same song. That's all that it is. And with the underground, you don't get that. It's definitely different.
Mr. B-Side, before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season, abstract poetry in second season, and my book 101 review in fifth season too, comedy 101 in second season, and my food 101 in its fifth season as well. Geography 101 in fourth season, and my baby podcast Law 101 and Mental Health 101. Love letters in third season, and movie 101 review and music 101 in its fourth season, and science 101 and sex 101 in its first season. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. Mr. Robert, after 25 years, what's the rawest truth or newest truth about grit that your memoir forces the world to confront?
Don't give up. Always stay strong. It doesn't matter what life throws at you. Just keep pushing forward. Don't look back. Just keep going forward and don't don't think about what other people are telling you. Always keep the blinders on and move forward.
Yes, people, move forward, let it go, and live at the moment and don't care what people say about you. Go, go, go. Just like Mr. Robert B-Cide Cardillo II. Again, Mr. Robert, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. So, can you please invite our listeners to support your book as well as your business or other advocacy that you are doing right
Yeah,
now?
yes, absolutely. You can actually check out the book at mylinmyshoes.com, spelled just like the book title, MYELIN, myshoes.com. You can buy the paperback, the Kindle, the Audible version read by me. You can check out the soundtrack. You can pre order the vinyl. Then you could go to my website, b-cide.com. Check out the website, see all the things I have to offer. If you want to support, you can even buy CDs. I have those for sale too. But yep, I'm promoting this book, and I'm definitely saying people need to check out the book. That is that is what's really going down right now. If you need some resilience and some reinvention, read the book. It's definitely an experience.
Yes, people, let's support Mr. Robert B-Side Cardillo II because if you support him, more and more and more empowering books to come, more and more empowering business to come, and for sure, more and more empowering advocacy to come. So, Mr. Robert, thank you so much for your time.
You're very welcome. It was great meeting you.
More to come, people. See you soon.